Alright.
Hi, Dad. What are you doing?
You know, bit of filming,
For what?
telly.
Actual live telly?
It's actually for the Tees Nature Partnership, Tees Catchment Partnership Conference.
So, did you stop filming?
Yeah, I stopped filming. So, what do rivers do for you?
They're really good.
Huh.
Dad!
Fun.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
These goggles, they're brilliant for the rocks.
Let's have a look.
Oh, that's better. Nice and peaceful again. Well, I'm Ben Lamb from the Tees Rivers Trust, and here I am, having a swim down the river. And I'll own up straight away to the fact that, for those with a keen eye, they will have spotted that this is not the Tees. It's in fact the Swale, just near Richmond. Very nice it is too. I do have a good reason for not going to the Tees. It involved a bike ride in the A66, acting as a barrier to migration to frankly a better river. Normally when I talk at these presentations and conferences, I tend to shout, get excited and wave my arms around a lot. But this time I thought we'd let the river do the talking a bit. We'd capture the river from a fly's eye view, possibly even a fish's eye view. I'm also determined not to just reel out facts and figures about why the rivers are in such a parlous state in the UK, why the Tees still need so much doing to it to help it to recover, what we need to do to help it to recover. Thought we'd just instead look at all of the things, all of the services that the river gives and provides to us. And start at drinking and sanitation. Now on average, and here I go wheeling a statistic out straight away, but I think it's one of the only ones. On average we use around 300 to 400 litres of water a day for drinking and sanitation. That's a huge amount of water. Without it, it would be jolly thirsty and pretty dirty. But perhaps we could be a little wiser about how we do use it. One of the other important things that we need it for obviously is irrigation, without which we'll be struggling to eat. Along with irrigation, we have drainage. And although I said that I was going to avoid going down any dark routes, drainage in itself is an issue. And we do have problems with sediment and pollution, badly connected drains going down our waterways and causing an issue. But let's look at the other things that rivers have done for us. Our very societies were built around rivers. Initially providing those things, water and sanitation, and then transport. But then as we grew as societies, with our clever ingenuity, we started looking at power opportunities, driving our mills, and then making electricity. And all the time we've been doing this. We've been changing and manipulating and adapting our rivers, and really benefiting from the nature, arguably without giving much back, which is kind of counterintuitive when you start looking at all of the things that we do and use rivers for. And I'm talking about the leisure side of things. There's a really beautiful piece of footpath runs right alongside this stretch, both from Richmond up to Reeth and then up into the Yorkshire Dales. And already in the couple of minutes that I've been floating down here, I've seen a kingfisher and a dipper pootling around on the riverbank. In a higher flow, possibly would have seen some kayaks hurtling down. It doesn't half come down when it's in Spain. I really thought I might have seen an angler on the riverbank. I want to go for some trout. They seem to be dancing around, but luckily for them and for me, they haven't. A lot of the work that we and others do around rivers is education, and this is both for younger and older generations, and it's such an important part of getting people involved with their local waterway. Because once people start seeing what life there is, and there does tend to be life wherever you look in a river, unless it's completely and utterly broken, and I haven't found any of those on the Tees yet. Nearly, but not quite. But once you start people getting involved and having a look under rocks, they find fly life, more likely than not fish life, and people suddenly start twigging that there's something more interesting to a beck or a river than just seeing it flow past, and that there's a huge amount to be learnt from rivers. And for schools it's a great resource because it's an outdoor classroom. Just needs some facilitation in getting them down there, and that's cheap and easy enough. And once we've got these younger generations and older generations engaged with the river, it does make improving them a whole lot easier, because suddenly there's more eyes looking out for pollution, more eyes looking out for littering, more people prepared to shout up and fly the flag for rivers generally. Getting in and enjoying a river is probably one of the nicest things that we can do, one of the most useful things that we can do for nature in a watery aspect, because if rivers are in poor quality and we're swimming in it and we swallow it, well, we get ill. And there's a real need to get all of our rivers up to bathing water quality standard, and this has been really put into stark light over the last year as folks have not been able to get about more than their local vicinity. They're locked down, and really it's unlocked a huge interest in water quality and engaged so many more people than there were before in rivers. And I think now's the time to really start building on that and keep the momentum going while we've got the opportunity, before people start jumping back on planes and heading out to the Med or wherever. Of course, that's nice, a bit of sunshine. I mean, the river today was pretty warm, but I've been in when it's been absolutely freezing. But we've got here an opportunity and a resource that can fill a gap, can get people off the sofas, can get kids away from the gaming. It took about 10 minutes to rip mine away from their game and get them into the river. Within 2 seconds, they were, "This is the best thing ever!" And they're right, it is. But there is a challenge, and the challenge is getting rivers more accessible, getting nature more accessible, getting more people included. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we face. But with an opportunity like this and a resource like this, it does make that challenge a little bit easier. But let's try and join the dots. I hope you've enjoyed this float down the river. I have. And I hope to see you on the riverbank soon. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Toodaloo!